Hello, my friend. Do you feel like people have stretched your name over a shade that doesn't match your truth? You know, reputation is a curious thing. Often it's not what you are, but what someone chose to see, what jealousy decided to believe, what misunderstanding allowed to linger, what projection refused to release. Many have judged you from the place you were heading toward, not the place you were maintaining. They saw future potential, then mistook that for present reality, and they spoke into that misinterpreted space. And because you were in the process, still growing, still healing, still becoming, you didn't argue, you didn't lean into defensiveness. You let them say what they needed to say. Let them watch what they believed was your downfall. But listen, it was never a downfall. It was an undercover rising, and now unseen forces are shifting. Heaven itself has ordained that truth catch up with your name. There is a divine interruption at work, one that will set the record straight, not by your striving, not by your explanations, not by retaliation, but by revelation so undeniable no lies can stand before it. For what those around you fail to see, you were never meant to be trapped in the image they made of you. They spoke of the version of you that wasn't whole, underestimated what healing would do, failed to perceive what God was building behind scenes. Your resilience, your integrity, your voice sharpened, your character refined. You didn't hurry to prove anything. That was your power. You allowed silence to do the heavy lifting, let time reveal what intention could not. And now comes exposure. Theirs, not yours. The ones who minimized your name because your presence unsettled them. The ones who called your depth too much because they were committed to staying shallow. The ones who whispered about you, hoping their rumors would outrun your truth. But God is about to make sure every false whisper is swallowed by revelation, and truth outruns them all. You will walk in spaces they used to avoid you in, and this time they will not be able to look away. You will speak words they used to brush aside, and now those words will land heavy. You will stand in the spirit you were always meant to carry, and they will recognize its weight. Because what is happening is this: your energy has transformed. Meanwhile, God is recalibrating the way people see you, not to heighten pride, but to restore accuracy. This isn't merely a glow-up, it's a rerouting of misperception. You weren't performing for the applause. You were healing in quiet, growing in private, laying down foundation where no one was watching. And because you didn't broadcast every struggle, many assumed nothing changed. They assumed wrong. This is not about revenge. This isn't karma. This is God intervening, saying, enough. It's time they face truth, the truth about who you actually are. You never needed a microphone. You only needed alignment, and that alignment is beginning to show. You will notice the difference in how people speak to you differently, in the respect baked into new opportunities, in how those who once dismissed you now pause before speaking your name. Because your presence now carries a weight no one can deny. This is the outcome of faith kept even when hope felt dim, of trust held tight throughout the silent seasons, of holding on when the world whispered you were wrong, when you wondered if you imagined the call, if you dreamed too big. Yet something inside you never let go, because you sensed something holy stirring in the story that others weren't privy to. You have walked in the in-between, too awakened for those who prefer shallow, too grounded for those who desire grand without roots, too kind to fall bitter, too aware to stay blind. You have borne the weight of being judged before you fully arrived. But that season is passing, because now heaven is rewriting narrative, not to pump up ego, but to correct what was wrongfully told. When God assigns favor, He doesn't wait for human approval. When the time comes to be seen, what's been burning beneath the surface will catch fire in full view. Hear this: your reputation is not being restored. It's being rewritten from the inside out. They saw your silence as weakness, patience mistaken for passivity, humility read as unreadiness. But nothing of that was weakness. It was strategy. And now, timing has shifted. This is the season when what you truly are begins to outshine what they thought you were. Opportunities that once skipped past will now circle back, and this time they will stay because God has already stamped approved where you were once denied. You will know it is happening not because everyone suddenly smiles, but because resistance begins to sound like reverence. Those who dismissed you will shift tone, not always with apology, but with undeniable recognition. You were never meant to be loud to be validated. You were meant to be steady. You were meant to become in quiet when no one watched. You became generous when you had little. You observed, you studied, you grew wise through pain when you had nothing but tears for a teacher. All that foundation is now undeniable. This revelation of your true identity is not manufactured. It's spiritual. Invisible roots have held you. What people thought was delay was God's preparation. What looked like being late was actually being backed by unseen faithfulness. When God backs you, no human narrative can override what is divinely ordained. Your reputation is more than what people say. It's what your life echoes without words. Your life is about to echo something different. It will show up as recognition, real, respectful, and righteous. But more than that, it will show up as peace. Peace in your body, calm in your spirit. You'll walk into rooms that once triggered fear and stay unmoved. Hear the judgments you used to wear, but feel them bounce off because they no longer land. You will sense the envy, the projections, but you'll walk past them. Why? Because this reputation isn't something you manage anymore. It is managed for you by God. Soon, opportunities will come that won't make sense if you only look at your resume. They will arrive by favor, not formula. You'll find your name assigned to doors your effort alone never unlocked. Not because you chased visibility, but because your authenticity, your becoming, has achieved critical mass. You ceased defining yourself by past failures. You stopped explaining your glow. You stopped molding your spirit for people who were determined to misunderstand it. And now, everything is catching up. The people who witnessed your process in silence will begin speaking publicly. Those who dismissed you will change their voices, not because they fully understood you, but because they can't keep ignoring what you carry. And listen closely, you don't need revenge. What's coming is better. It's what happens when God clears the fog off your mirror. When He restores clarity. You are not being introduced, you are being revealed. And that is different because anyone can make a splash. Only the chosen ones rise by alignment. Only the chosen ones get elevated without sacrificing their soul. That is who you are. You didn't fight to be seen. You fought to stay true when unseen. Because of that, this shift won't just be public, it will be permanent. So, walk forward with no fear. You don't have to convince anyone anymore. Your presence speaks. Your walk speaks. Your life tells the truth, no matter what they believed before. They now see who you truly are, and they won't be able to look away. Let me anchor this in Scripture, because every promise you sense here already lives in someone's word. In Luke 8:17, Jesus says, "For there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will be known or brought out into the open." There is a time when God reveals what has been in shadows. Similarly, in Matthew 10:26, he declares, "So have no fear of them, for nothing is covered that will not be revealed, nor hidden that will not be known." Trust that your season of revelation is appointed. And Proverbs 22 verse 1 reminds us, "A good name is to be more desired than great wealth. Favor is better than silver or gold." Let this be your posture. You guard your heart. Stay true in your inner world, even if your outer world does not yet reflect the full truth. Because God owns your reputation. He is the keeper of truth, the one who will vindicate you when many have misunderstood, misjudged, misnamed. In times when slander and whispers sought to define you, Romans 8:28 carries this promise. "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who've been called according to his purpose, for God is working even through the hard seasons, orchestrating all towards something that aligns with his divine plan, your true identity held in place by his sovereignty." So, today, receive this. Your story is not derailed. It's being refined. Your reputation is not destroyed. It's being rescripted. And you no longer carry the burden of proving yourself. Your life is becoming the proof. Walk into your calling with calm courage. Take up space. Speak what must be spoken. Let your light that you thought hidden blaze so brightly that every false portrayal fades. This is your time. Your name is being redeemed. Your truth is being revealed. And the world will see that what was once overlooked is essential. What was once discounted is weighty. What was once misrepresented is redeemed. Go forward, not with fear, but with conviction. You are being revealed. You are rising. Thank you for being here, for allowing this message to meet you. If this reaches something in you, share it. Let it lift someone else. Stay connected. Keep faith. Let the unveiling begin.